you've been an underdog in your relationships, if you've been an underdog in the weight room, if you've been an underdog in life, if you've been an underdog financially, I'm talking to that person who grew up without a father. I'm talking to that person who grew up without a mother. I'm talking to that person who didn't grow up with handouts. I'm talking to that person who maybe if you did grow up with a little bit of handouts, but maybe you were misunderstood and you were overlooked and you were undervalued and you were mishandled and misguided.
You got a dream to buy a house. You got a dream for better relationships. You got a dream to win a fight. You got a dream to get your family out of the hood. You got a dream to lose weight. I mean, whatever that dream is, whatever you have, that goal, that improbable feat, once you get it set, once you smell that, once you get a feel for it, a taste of it, and the underdog is an individual who refuses to live in the dark. They refuse to remain in obscurity. They refuse to live in stress and overwhelm and anxiety. They are somebody who is tired. Like when you come to the end of yourself, you got to get tired. Like you have to get tired. Something inside of you has to snap. You got to get tired of being broke. When you get tired of being coined the loser, being coined not enough, being overlooked and undervalued and underpaid, you got to get tired of that. When you get tired, that's when you win.
The underdog is a person that comes out on the playing field and says, okay, I've been in this place of pain my whole life. I've gone without for so long. This is the day you make up in your mind where I will take the throne. I'm talking to that person that is acquainted with pain. I'm talking to that person that knows what it's like to come from nothing. And so you literally have nothing to lose. And the only thing that's in your hand is a dream. The only thing that's in your head is I have what it takes to get to the top of that hill. Because I am not the wolf on the hill. I am the wolf climbing the hill. I have nothing to lose.
Counted out, overlooked, undervalued, misguided, betrayed. Somebody who has been really dishonored, disrespected. Somebody who has lost everything, who people stop believing in, is a very desperate person. They're climbing a hill. They're trying to achieve a dream. And when you are desperate, you are very dangerous. And a dangerous man or woman is somebody who is a disruptor. They don't play by the rules. They are coming for blood. They are coming for blood.
Your story is not your fortress. Your story is your fuel. When you doubt the underdog, it's like music to his ears. Tell me I'm not good enough. Tell me I'm not strong enough. Tell me I won't finish. There is this intrinsic emotion, this instinct. You have just awakened the lion in me because they said you can't do it. They said you don't have what it takes to make the investments. They said you don't have what it takes to lose the weight. They say you don't have what it takes to hang on to your marriage. Everybody has been counted out. Everybody has been doubted. The underdog is not a person who doesn't feel pain, doubt, and fear. The underdog is a person that turns that pain, that doubt, that fear into their fuel. If you came from a place where you had nothing, that's everything that you need.
Everybody wants a piece of the pie. Okay? Everybody wants a piece of the pie. In any facet of life, in every arena you walk in, there's pie. And the thing is that pie doesn't get any bigger. The pie never gets any bigger. It's the disciplined, desperate, dangerous mentality of an individual that says, I'm gonna push whoever I gotta push out of my way to get my piece of the pie. Those are the people that get the pie. Because the pie doesn't get any bigger and the pie does not pursue you. You have to go after it. So whatever it is that you're going after, whatever it is you feel as though you've been destined to do, are you willing to push whoever, whatever, out of your way to get your piece of the pie? So if you're listening to me right now and there's anything in your life that is defeating you, if there's anything in your life it seems like an improbable feat, you gotta smell blood. Once you get that scent like a hound dog, you get that scent, you see what is possible, you see what you are capable of. In the face of adversity, in the face of challenges, in the face of everybody that says you are not enough, you're not tall enough, you're not big enough, you're not wide enough, you're not fast enough, it's in that very moment that the dreams gotta get bigger than the disappointment, than the fear, than the anxiety, than the stress, than the overwhelm. It's got to get bigger, the dream. Once that dream gets bigger and you get a scent for that dream, you start to smell that dream. There's nothing on planet Earth that can stop you. You become armed and dangerous. You are the most dangerous individual on planet Earth.
And so an underdog is just somebody who refused to live in the setback. It is a person who rebels against your reality. Your reality of me is that I'm not enough. Your reality of me is that I'm not qualified. Your reality of me is that I'm not quick enough. I'm not fast enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not linear enough. This is your reality. My reality of me is that all I have is all I need. I'm coming after everything you said I couldn't have. If you're gonna come back from the setback, the number one thing you have to do is make up your mind that you are no longer going to live in the pain of the past. Pain is inevitable and it is unavoidable. And when we talk about this underdog mentality, the underdog is just a man or a woman who has made up their mind. They are no longer going to live in their setbacks. They are no longer going to live in your reality. Your reality of me says I'm not enough. Your reality of me says I can't do this. Your reality of me says you won't finish today. My reality says all I have is all I need. I'm not living in my setback any longer. I'm moving forward. When we talk about a dog mentality, the dog scrambles, the dog barks, the dog runs after whatever it wants. When a dog is hungry, move out of his way, because it's coming for blood. And the reason why you don't have what you want is because you are not hungry enough. You are gonna have to push, 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 push. 9 times out of 10, the underdog always comes out with the win because the underdog was more hungry. The wolf that is on the hill is never as hungry as the wolf that is climbing the hill. The underdog is still trying to prove himself. The underdog is still trying to tell the world, I can do this.
And the underdog is an individual who refuses to live in the dark.
I would rather tell the world what I've done than what I'm going to do.
There's enough people talking. Just make the move and don't talk until it's time for the checkmate. Move in silence. One of the most underrated superpowers on earth is moving in silence, thinking in silence, caucusing in silence, meditating, praying, working on your craft, doing the dark work, behind the scenes where nobody can see it, nobody can congratulate you, nobody can affirm you, nobody can celebrate you. I'm doing this thing not to be celebrated. I'm doing this thing not to be noticed and acknowledged and supported. I'm doing this thing because if I don't do this, I'm not going to achieve what it is that I'm after. This is the power of moving in silence. If I'm going to move in silence, I've got to know how to plan in silence and think in silence and meditate and pray and put the work in behind the scenes. Nobody can see it but me. Every rising star that you see, every innovator and trailblazer and creator and philanthropist and minister and business person or athlete or entertainer, we see them at this height, but we don't see the work. You were not there when they cried and they bled and they sweat and they almost quit and they almost threw in the towel and they were left alone to continue the work, to pray, to believe, to think, to caucus, to plan it out and then execute and come back and shock everybody! I'm I'm not gonna say a word until I win. I'm not posting about it. I'm not trying to prep you. You don't need a trailer. I'm going to make an announcement that I won. Not that I'm working, but I won. Checkmate. Checkmate. Somebody shout checkmate. Somebody drop it in the comments. Checkmate. Move in silence. Drop it in the comments. Checkmate. 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 You talked about me, you doubted me, you deserted me, you left me for dead. Watch me checkmate. And I'm gonna do it in silence. As a matter of fact, I'm not gonna say a word until I win. There are seasons in life where we get to that need to be played and lived out like a chess game. Don't talk until it's time. A chess player does not talk until the time has come for the checkmate. Man, drop it in the chat. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. Stop talking about everything you want to do. Checkmate. Successful people have mastered the art of spending time alone. They understand the power and the leverage points when I get time with myself. And I get in my head and I get in my heart and I understand my behaviors and my belief systems and my parameters and what I need to do and how I need to sow and where I need to send my energy and how I need to execute in the day. They understand it's a superpower. But everybody doesn't need to know what you're doing. And this is why we have so many copycats and knockoffs and counterfeits and frauds, because you brought people along with you that were not in your inner circle along throughout your process while you were building it instead of just revealing it after it was already done. Because this is the type of season I'm about to step into. You talked about me, you doubted me, you deserted me, you left me for dead. Watch me checkmate, and I'm gonna do it in silence. As a matter of fact, I'm not gonna say a word until I win. Just show up and be finished with it. Stop telling the world every step of the process and you haven't won yet. Win, win, win. And after you win, then let them interview you. Let the contracts drop on the table. Let the documentary come out, but win without a word. And when you win, checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. Understand your limitations. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Where are you losing? Where are you winning? How do you need to change your beliefs to align with the correct behaviors? What type of behaviors and parameters and values do you need to have established and hardwired within yourself? Who do I need to become to accomplish what it is I've been destined to do? When you spend that time alone and you can think and you can pray and you can meditate, and everybody's not in your mix, you're able to grow something that could leave a legacy and impact the lives of millions of people. Never underestimate the power of getting alone with yourself and getting dialed in with what you've been called to do and then how you're going to go about doing it. Oftentimes we find the person who's living paycheck to paycheck doesn't want to think. They just want to work and get paid. It's the millionaires and billionaires and six-figure earners and networkers and busy bees and people that are out there shaking hands, stepping into rooms and arenas, building products, creating opportunity, innovators, trailblazers. These are the people that have spent time alone thinking about what it is they've been called to do and how they're going to execute. They moved in silence. They thought alone. They prayed alone, just for a moment, just for a season. Nothing wrong with getting together with friends and family and having a corporate construct, but there is an unfair advantage when I can get along with myself and I can talk to myself in the mirror and tell myself, self, you got stuff to do. Self, you have things to become. Self, there are ways you have to go about this. And you need to be flexible, you need to be agile, Is God first in my house or nothing else? We start to establish our values and we start to understand ourselves and what makes us tick. Everybody doesn't need to know all the moving parts and the pain and the tears and the sacrifices that you have made. Just show up on stage and win, and after you win, then you can talk about how you won. If your dream only requires you, then it's not big enough. It starts with you, but it doesn't end with you. Your team is coming. Drop it in the comments, man. My team is coming, but it starts with me. My team is coming, but it starts with me. My team is coming, but it starts with me. Again. Type it in the chat. Again. If it's life-giving, if it's serving your purpose, if it's going to transform you into something you never thought you could be, then do it again. Do it again. Type it in the chat, drop it in the comments, man. Again. This thing served me. This thing helped me. It hurt, but it's helping me. And it's building a bridge to the future and the destiny that I've been called to fulfill. Period. Every time you go back, you're building muscle. You're building mentality. You're building endurance. You're establishing faith. It takes faith to get out of this, to crawl yourself out of a messy history and leave a legacy. It is the man that refuses to quit. It is the man that refuses to put down his gloves that separates winners from wannabes. It is diligence and dedication and determination that separates the all-time greats from the one-hit wonders. Do you want to do this thing one time? Or do you want to be notorious for winning over and over and over again? I just want to know, is anybody listening that wants to do it again? I don't want to win one time. I don't want to be noticed one time. I don't want to make history one time. I want to do it over and over and over again. Do it again, no matter how hard it was, no matter how much you cried and you sweat and you bled. Do it again. Again. Your goals are posted on your wall. You commit privately and publicly to the call that's on your life. You think about it day and night. Whatever the goal is, it's time to shatter the ceiling above your head, to break records, to shatter the status quo, to punch through targets. It's your time. It's your turn. You've doubted yourself long enough. People have left you, overlooked you, undervalued you, underpaid you. It's your time to connect. It's your time to get paid. It's your time to sign the deal. It's your time. If you quit, go back, dust yourself off, and try one more time. Show me your habits, and I will show you your future. It is what we do habitually. It is what we do every single day that determines the measure of significance that we get to live this life. Everybody wants to drive something, live somewhere, be connected. There are protocols that must be in place. There are actions that must be taken. Not just thoughts that you must think, but words that you must speak and actions that must be taken and coordinates to where it is that you are going. You are going somewhere. You're either going back or you're going forward. Everybody wants a comeback, but nobody wants a setback. You can't have a comeback without a setback. You are going to experience loss. You are going to have seasons in your life where you're not going to understand why and how you got where you are. Many of you have been the villain in your own story, and it's time to become the hero. The drama and the chaos, the narrative is about to change. The story is about to clear up. This is not a conversation about going back to everything that you left. There are some things, there are some people, there are some places that once we leave, we don't ever need to go back.
because we were tormented and we were haunted and we were abused and we were talked about and we were overlooked and undervalued and underpaid. The reason why you didn't win is because you gave up too soon. You took the exit too quickly. You were on the freeway to freedom. You were en route. You were following the instructions. You were following the coaching. You were listening to the video. Somebody drop it in the comments. I'm listening, I'm listening, I'm listening. I'm staying the course. I'm focused, I'm dialed in. It's the man that stays on the freeway in the middle of a traffic jam and doesn't exit that reaches the point of destiny. Will you put in the work? Will you stay the course? Will you try it again? Are you willing to change perspective, to see this thing differently, to get to the place of optimal performance and significance and fulfillment, where every day you are looking for life, you have an expectation, you have a zeal, you're excited, you're ecstatic. You've got a bold anticipation for the future. With each day that is presented to you, you have an opportunity to change everything. Whatever it is, if it's life-giving, if it's going to impact someone else, if it's going to empower you to live a life of fulfillment and significance, then do it again. You may be in a courtroom, you may be in a cage, you may be on the basketball court, you may be on the football field, you may be down by 40 at halftime. It is the man that comes back round after round that may have taken a beating physically, but he is not broken mentally, that comes back round after round after round after round. And he goes back into the dark room and he puts the work and he comes back out into the light and he puts on a show. Put on a show. I'm talking to every builder, every athlete, every professional, every stay-at-home mom, every father that puts in the work day and night to provide for his family. I don't know what your dream is. I don't see your vision, but if you write it down and you put the work in and you beat on your craft and you give it everything you have and you give yourself to your work, at some point, everything's going to begin to shift and change because you refuse to quit. This isn't just a conversation about trying again. This is a conversation about winning again. When we try something again and again and again, eventually, when we set a target and we begin to run towards it, no matter how many times we are beaten out, eventually, we run through the target. And so trying again becomes win again. And I just came to tell somebody today that's listening to me that eventually you're not going to be the man or the woman, the boy, the girl that tries again. Eventually, there is a warrior inside of you that will emerge. There is a person that refuses to lose, that will be birthed out of a setback. And you are no longer the person who is known for coming back from a loss, but you are known for the person that wins again and again and again. No matter how many times I've faced this giant, I am surrounded by walls 100 times taller than me. They gotta fall down because I have made winning a habit. Win again, punch through again. You gotta get out of this trying mentality. I'm gonna try, I'm gonna give it a try. I will break out of the I'ma try. I'll try to smile. I'll try to be happy. I'll try to make it a good day. I will smile. I will make it a good day. I will win again. I will bring my A game again. I will give it everything I have again. This mentality, this approach to living is what builds the bridges to the future. This is how we cement our legacy. He is a man, she is a woman that was born to shock the world.